hot take, but is it just me or does everyone look the same right now?
And
Scrolling TikTok and it's the same outfit, same hair, same makeup style, even the same look to the face. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Olivia. If you're new here, welcome and be sure to subscribe. So today I want to talk about like the loss of personal style as a whole, and it's something that I've noticed recently, especially when scrolling through TikTok, and why it feels like everyone just has lost like all sense of personal style. So with the rise of aesthetics and like glow ups and everything, everyone is just trying to be the best version of themselves, which is why I also have this channel. Guys, I talk about glow ups and how just to be the better version of yourself, and my channel is mainly catered to the girlies because girlies are welcome here. This is a girly place, it's a support place for the girlies. But back to what I was saying. So I have my notes with me over here so that I don't forget what I was saying, because I tend to drift a lot while talking, but that is just me. But
Girl, bye.
anyway, so with like the rise of aesthetics and everything, I've personally come to realize that most people nowadays, rather than using like the aesthetics and their Pinterest boards as like a source of inspiration, they mostly do it as a sort of copy and paste thing. I don't know if that makes sense, but I mean, with if I were to mention, let's say for example, the clean girl aesthetic, you'd immediately know exactly what I'm talking about. If I were to talk about cottagecore, you'd immediately know what I was talking about. If I were to talk about the body aesthetic, or the dark feminine aesthetic, or even the office siren aesthetic, you would immediately know what I was talking about, because recently, rather than people using them as some sort of inspiration, they just copy and paste the same outfits. And personally, I've noticed that this tends to happen, especially when there's like a season change, like when we're shifting to like spring or summer, we kind of have the summer or the spring outfits. So you'll find like during summer, right now as we're heading into summer, it's also a trend that I've noticed, and I to be honest guys, I kind of like it. I really like it, but it gets a bit messy when everyone literally wears the exact same thing in like the exact same color, the exact same like color palette and everything, though that color palette might not necessarily suit you. So what I'm talking about, for example, is like the capri pants. I don't know if you guys have been seeing it, or maybe I'm the only one who's chronically online. Guys, do not be on social media as much as I am. Just come to YouTube and watch me. And if you're on TikTok and Instagram, go follow me at Theeiminza on all social media handles. But anyway, back to what I was saying. So like whenever I scroll on TikTok, like whenever I look up summer outfits, almost everyone is like in capris, and I love capris. I think I would absolutely devour a capri look, because I feel like capris will look good on me. But then confidence will move with confidence. But then the issue with this is that everyone is absolutely styling them the same exact way, in the same exact color palette, in the same exact shades, and that's where the issue comes in my opinion. Because when I think of a capri, if I were to think of TikTok, like how people dress, like in terms of styling capris, everyone is like in in like black capris, nice halter top, or white capris, who says, doesn't matter, but capris, a halter top, a slick back bun, and mules. And if you're getting a bit adventurous, maybe some kitten heels. But yeah, there's the lack of personal style, like complete. Personally, I feel like the TikTok algorithm plays a really huge role in this, because honestly, I think that instead of people having personal style, they have categories. And that is why we have categories in TikTok, like the dark feminine TikTok, like stuff like that. And it's really weird, because the more you interact with a certain type of content, the more that type of content will be repeated and shown to you exact same thing over and over again, and so you start thinking this is what everyone wears, this is what looks good on everyone, so there's a high probability that this will look good on me. And personally, I feel like that should not be the case, because you can literally tell someone's screen time by their outfit, and that shouldn't be the case. Like, girl, what happened to people wearing, like, I personally love the articles. I personally could not pull that off. I feel like I could never pull that off. But then I like the articles with like the jingles and the, like, you know, when they walk into a room, you can literally tell that an ethical aesthetic girly like literally walk into the room, because they always have something new. They're not always in like the same exact outfits. Like, for example, the maxi skirts. Yes, they might wear them in different colors. Some of them will style them with long sleeves, others with mesh tops, others with crop spaghetti tops, others will just try to, you know, they'll try to diversify their outfits. Personally, I feel like that's the one aesthetic that doesn't fit people into categories. Like, people have different, like, they have different fonts to the same outfits, but then with the rest of us, the aesthetics, people literally wear the exact same outfit. And you know what makes it worse, especially with like TikTok and everything, what makes it worse is the fact that it's something that I've noticed, guys. I'm chronically online, but it's something that I've personally noticed. But whenever you go on TikTok and you scroll through the comments, the one thing that kind of keeps repeating all the fucking time, sorry for my language, but then something that keeps on repeating all the time is the fact that when you go through the comments, you'll see someone, oh my god, where's your top from? Oh my god, where did you get those jeans? Oh my god, you eating? And for me, I'm all for it. Like, girlies support girlies. Like, girl, you look tea, your body is tea, that outfit is tea, you're selling it well. But then the issue comes in, when it's just a basic white top and jeans. Like, girl, you can get that off Primark, you can get that off Shein. Personally, I support Shein. You can get that off Shein. But then because a girlie bought it from, I don't know, Aritzia or Mango or whatever big brand that there is that carries basic white jeans and like basic white tops and blue jeans, you want to go get it from them for 6 times the price. Like, y'all are so easily influenced. Like, what the hell happened to personal style? Can't you just take the exact same white top, like buy it cheaper and then style it in your own way? You don't necessarily have to wear the same exact way that someone else is wearing it. Like, girl, what the hell? What the hell? And you know, when everyone necessarily stops like putting their own sense of style into things, like clothing stops being like a way of self-expression, and when we're all wearing the exact same outfit, it stops feeling like personal style. It starts feeling more like a uniform. And like, you walk outside, there's this day this happened when I was back in my country, when I was walking with my mom. I love my mom. She has a really nice sense of style. Like, she's my blueprint for everything. And I remember there's this day she got this really nice outfit and she really liked it. It was like a dress from Turkey. And like, in my country, clothes from Turkey are like, they're like the it thing. Like in Kenya, like if you're able to get like a nice outfit from Turkey, like you're like, you know ball, you know tea, you know what's up and everything. And like, I remember I was out with my mom and she saw someone wearing her exact same outfit, and let me tell you, my mom has never worn that outfit ever again. Though it was her favorite outfit, like her most favorite outfit, she has never worn that outfit again. And I feel like personally I lean into that a lot, because there's no way I'm going to be caught dead wearing the exact same outfit as other people. And that's how people should be. Like, it's okay, we're both in black dresses, or we're both in like a nice, summer dress and bodycon dress, but then we all have to bring in like our own like sense of style in it. Because what do you mean we're wearing the same exact thing from head to toe, from the headband to the earrings to the word to the why to the wah 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 wah? Like, Girl, no, that's not how it should be. And it's not even about trends, because trends have always existed since like the 1920s, from the boyish cuts to the androgynous looks to the curvy things to the Marilyn Monroe era to the 80s, 70s with the afros to the 2000s with the low-rise jeans. But then the only difference back then is that people had their own personal style. People added bits and pieces of their personality into this, like their outfits, and now it just feels like people are literally going on Pinterest or TikTok, see an outfit, and they're copying the exact same look. And I think there might be a deeper reason as to why this is happening, and I feel like it's because people are scared to stand out. They feel like, once you see most people are wearing this outfit, the uniforms, it's just easier to dress that way because you won't stick out like a sore thumb. And personally, I feel like no one should feel this way. It's okay to stand out because of your personal style. Well, okay, it's, don't get me wrong, but if you're in, let's say, an environment that requires you to dress formally, you can dress formally. Like, there's nothing completely wrong with that, and mixing bits of your style or like bits of your personality. But then you don't necessarily have to copy exactly what someone else is wearing, so long as it's appropriate for the workplace. Do you get what I'm saying? I don't know if you guys get what I'm saying, but then that's the point that I wanted to make. And I know people don't feel this way. You just want to wear that uniform because you don't want to feel judged. You don't want to feel out of place. You want to feel like you fit in. You don't want to be like sticking out like a sore thumb. But then at the exact same time, that's the point of personal style and outfits. Personally, I just feel like clothes are a form of self-expression, and like you shouldn't feel like you have to blend in, because the point of personal style as a whole is for you to stand out a little. And I won't lie, personally, I found myself being a victim of this because I've been scrolling on Pinterest. I'll be scrolling on Pinterest, or maybe I'll be scrolling on what is this thing called? I'll be scrolling on TikTok, and I'll see an outfit and I'll be like, oh my god, I have to get that exact same look. Because instead of asking myself, do I actually like this outfit, or am I just used to seeing it and I want to dress this way? And I feel like that's what's missing now. People aren't like experimenting anymore. Everything is very safe, very curated, very moderated, very uniform like. And I shouldn't be able to tell your screen time based on the outfit that you're wearing. And personal style used to be messy, it used to be creative, a bit random, but that's what made it interesting. And now it just feels like people are just dressing to fit in, and it doesn't feel like style anymore. It just feels like people are in categories. But then I love drama. I think I am the drama. Period. But then, what do you guys think? Do you think that nowadays all sense of personal style is gone and we're just all copy and pasting everything and putting ourselves into categories? Let me know what you think in the comments, and I can't wait to see you guys later. Bye bye.